colors do catch your eye.
I think we're going to pick it
All right, should we do it?
Okay, sure.
For the benefit of all you that came on time, we'll start. We'd like to invite you all to share an evening with us, and that's what we're here for, and thank you for coming out. We just really welcome you tonight. Uptime is really an event. It's not just a product, it's a happening. And one of the things that excites me the most about it is that when you share Uptime with somebody, you're really sharing something other than a product. You're sharing an experience. And for all of you that have had that occasion to do that with others, you know what I mean. And that's why it is such a success in the marketplace, and that's why it's going to be carried, I think, to the top of the multi-level industry very quickly. Because we're not just marketing a product, we're marketing an experience. And that experience is one of increased energy, increased vitality, and just the experience of feeling better. And I'll tell you something, it's a remarkable product when you can go out there and give somebody something that in a half an hour to 45 minutes, they know they've had it. Okay? So we're really on to something here, and I just want to share my story for the benefit, and introduce myself for the benefit of you that might not have met me before or heard me speak. My name is Ron Watson, and I came to Uptime back in September of last year, and it was quite by accident. It wasn't by design. I was working at the time with another company as Director of International Marketing, and I had quite a very good secure position for myself with that company in terms of a future, 100,000 plus income, plus quite a lot of share options and stocks and other things. And I was introduced to the product by a gentleman at a lecture that I was to have given at the Long Beach Convention Center. And at the time, I really wasn't interested in it. I remember when he gave me the package, I had been in nutrition for quite a lot of years and thought I knew quite a lot about it. And in fact, that was the products that we had been marketing for some years, was nutritional products. And, geez, I think they found me. Anyway, what I found was that this gentleman gives me the product and he lets me, he asked me to take it, and I looked at the ingredients and I thought, this is ridiculous. You know, a little bit of vitamin C is the main ingredient, and wheatgrass, and I didn't know too much about that. I figured cows ate it. And then there was a couple other things, spirulina, cayenne pepper, caffeine, and fructose. And I said, boy, I know I don't want it now. I was part of the Uncola generation. Didn't they know caffeine's not in vogue now? You know, it's not the thing. So I kind of put it down and really wasn't too interested in it. And I wasn't really that critical of caffeine because I drank tea and coffee and chocolate and, you know, all the cola things. I had those things occasionally and didn't really have any real hang-ups about caffeine, but it just didn't impress me, and I kind of threw the package down. And it wasn't too long till the gentleman came back and said, did you take your Uptime yet? And he was so enthused, I thought, well, you know, what's this guy up about? You know, I thought this was just you know, another vitamin. And he said, well, you've got to try it. And he said it with such conviction and enthusiasm, I thought he must have some knowledge about something that I should experience, so I took it. And this was after a day. How many have ever worked a booth before, you know, in a show? Well, you know, that's pretty exhausting, isn't it? You know, you spend a whole day in a booth, in Orange County particularly. Well, you know what? You know, you get really tired. You're talking to people all day, and your energy seems to be waning at about that evening time. And it was 6 o'clock at the time, and I remember it very clearly because at 6 o'clock in the evening, I'd been up for almost 12 hours and had been, you know, just really a long day behind me. And I took the product, and the reason I remarked about the time is because I knew it very well, because at 7 o'clock I had a lecture to do on air ionization, which was a topic that I was there to lecture on. And it only took a short half an hour for me to experience the product. And I didn't really get the type of experience that was very overt. It was very subtle. I was up there talking to a gentleman at the booth, and all of a sudden I find I'm just, and I'm thinking, boy, what happened to me? You know, was one of those things where you had to stand off, observe yourself, and realize that something had changed. And I thought, well, this is really something. I wonder what's going on. I feel really good. My fatigue's gone. I have a lot of energy. And then I went up and I gave my lecture, and I was one of the most, how do you say that, humbly, one of the best lectures I ever gave, you know? It was one of those lectures where you get up there and you're just on fire with the energy that comes from down here, not from up here. And after an entire day working that show, I didn't think that I was going to be able to give that kind of a, you know, that powerful of a lecture, because I was really tired. But I wasn't. I got up there and I was just on fire. And I tell you that story only to say this, that persuaded me that there was something dynamically different about this product, and I wanted to know more about it. So I went back and after my lecture, and I went over to the table and I said, I'd like a case of that product. And the gal that was behind there, my sponsor's wife, had said to me, she says, well, that's $144. Now, I'm not dumb. I headed up 2 multi-level companies, and I'm not dumb in the ways of multi-level, so I said, well, how much is a distributorship? And she said, well, $5. I said, does that mean I can buy it wholesale? Well, yeah. She said, you're going to be a distributor? And I said, well, I guess I am. Give me a form. So I filled it out, and I got my $60 reduced price, and I was very delighted. I made a good deal. Went back to my booth, and had no intention of working with the product, only wanted to use it. And I had the experience of traveling around the country right after that to the Midwest. And the company I was with sent me on a journey of promotion and training. And while I was in the Midwest, I shared the product with several people, 2 of which are in the room now, one from Chicago and one from Milwaukee. And this experience was quite dramatic, because on both occasions these people experienced as much or more than I did. In fact, the delightful lady that will be up here later, Esther Young, and her husband, I had given them just 2 packages. And Esther's husband is a police sergeant on the Milwaukee Police Force, and he went on shift at 10 o'clock, I guess, on the night of that we had left. And he took the uptime, and he was up all night, had to be up all the next day, and had to go to a meeting the next night. It took, I guess, Esther's supply of uptime the next night so he could stay up that entire 48 hours. And he experienced no fatigue, and he was just delighted. Now, for a gentleman that has to spend his life, you know, doing odd hours and working different hours and staying alert and attentive, this was a remarkable discovery for him. To make a long story short, they have become really 2 of the most successful distributors in the country as of now. But the point I'm trying to make is that these constant, repetitious experiences of people coming back to me excited and just turned on to this, is that the wrong term? Experiencing this product. And so I said to myself, I said, you know, there's something strange going on here. Everywhere we leave the product, people want more of it. So we went to Michigan after that, from Milwaukee and Chicago, and we were there and we had the same experience again. And the couple we shared it with, who were from a small town called Big Rapids, Michigan, they go to bed at 9, 10 o'clock every night. And it's one of those rural communities. And here we were, 2 o'clock in the morning, still going. And meanwhile, my wife was on the phone, and there was an hour's time difference between Milwaukee and Michigan. And she was on the phone with Esther at about 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock our time in Michigan. And there was this interchange of all the great things that was happening with Uptime and their experience on it. So she walks back in the room. Here it is very late, and this couple that we're with are experiencing all the great things that we experienced on this product. And here it is. I looked at Linda and I said, you know what? I never thought I'd do it again, but let's get back in it again. Let's get back in and let's get away from this corporate stuff and let's just go out there and do it. Long story short, we ended up working with Uptime. And it was one of the most successful ventures we ever had. Our first month we earned over $4,000. And we built an organization that has spread out around the United States. Now, that's our success story, but it's not ours. It's everyone in that organization that has been doing it. Because no one person in multi-level experience is ever successful, except those working within the organization are successful. Okay? Now, what I'd like to do is share with you why I believe this product is the most successful and the best product in the marketplace today for multi-level marketing. Now, I told you I marketed and headed up 2 companies in multi-level marketing. And I think I have a good attunement to what is successful and what's not. I really do. For years I've worked in it and I've watched companies come and go. And I have to share with you, I have many good reasons for believing this to be the best product, and the first of which is simply that it works. It's the bottom line, it works. If only 50% of the people you gave the product to experienced something positive on it, you would be a thriving business. You know that? Do you know that in retail business, if one person out of 1,000 comes back and back and back for your product, you're considered, you've got a winner. Think about that. In advertising, if you put out an ad and you mass market something, if you get back 1%, that's considered all right. 10% is just ecstasy. Now here we are with a product that if you only got 50% of the people that you shared the product with interested, which is quite possible for this product, you would be such a success and you would be so prosperous that it would beg description. So that is the first reason the product works. The second reason is the product can be given away. Now, how many times have you had a product that you've marketed? How many people have been in sales in this room before? Can I see your hand? Sold something or another? I'm sure most of us have. We spend our life, quite frankly, you know, it's hard to escape it. You know, there's just nothing in the world that's not sold. Think about it. Really, there isn't. I mean, whether it was selling your maid on how great a person you were, you sold somebody. If you know, sell your child that he should go to bed at a certain time every night, or you know, if you eat that broccoli that he doesn't like, you're selling all your life. That's what life's about. In fact, there's not a thing you can touch or see in this room that's not been sold. Think about that. You're sitting on something that someone had to sell. Someone had to take it from production and market it. It's a noble art. It really is. You know, beliefs, Christianity is sold. If you don't believe it, watch it on TV. There isn't anything in this world, including belief systems, that isn't marketed and sold. It's a noble art. And the top paying people in the United States, the highest paid people in the United States, and in practically any free marketing country, is your salespeople. Now, when you have a product like this that sells itself, it doesn't require a whole lot of successful sales techniques and all that training that you usually get with most companies to be successful. You know, I worked with a company that sold nutritional products for many years, and you know what? We had to train people how to sell a product. You know what I say with Uptime? I say, don't sell it, give it away. That's exciting. I have people say to me, I'm not a salesperson. I say, well, that's fine. We don't need them. We're not looking for that. Can you give something away? Well, gee, I like doing that. Well, good. Give it away. So we eliminate all of that. You know, the time that would normally be spent in training and motivating people isn't as necessary. I remember when they said we were going to do meetings, I used to say, when I first got in this company, I'd think, what are we going to do a meeting on? It was exciting because we didn't need all this. Sure, it's nice to have somebody introduce the product to you. There's no question about that. But you don't have to have the repetitious meetings of training and training and training. It's not necessary. Just give it away. Give it away. Another exciting thing about the product is that it engenders in the people that take it what you want in a good salesperson anyway. What does a motivator try to do when he's trying to get you to sell and believe in a product? He tries to impart his knowledge and his belief in you so that you get excited and go out and sell that product. Isn't that true? Now, if you've been in a business that I was in for many years where you were selling, let's say, a nutritional program. My gosh, you know, I spent a lot of time and a lot of energy trying to educate people why, if they took a good antioxidant nutrient program for the rest of their life, they probably would not develop cancer and heart disease and a myriad of other diseases. And I had to I had to transfer my belief and my knowledge to them. And if I did it well, they went out and they were successful with the program. Okay? If they lacked really good educations, or if they didn't understand what I was talking about, or if there were many blocks there, or if they couldn't re-communicate what I had communicated to them, then they didn't succeed. All that is meaningless in this company. Because the product, when you take it, within a half an hour to 45 minutes to an hour, you're going to experience that product. And you can't take an entire box of that product without that happening. You might take it the first time and it'll slip by you. I've seen people take it and say, well, I'm not sure I noticed anything. Then you hear about the person that said, I didn't notice that I felt any different, but I got 6 hours work done in 1 hour. I scrubbed the house, did the dishes, mowed the lawn, I did this and did that. You say, wow, what hit me, right? But see, you're dealing with a natural energy system. You're dealing with a natural energy ingredient. You're not dealing with a product that's a drug or a chemical that gives you a buzz. All it does is it makes you feel naturally good, wholesomely good, healthily good. So you very often don't identify that especially good feeling with the product, because it just kind of slips up on you. All of a sudden you just have that extra energy. I find it exciting to be in the energy business. Everybody's got something for your car that gives it a better boost, energy, STP and all that. This is the STP. We did the car show here a couple weeks ago. People come up and we had a race car with uptime on it, Big Indy race car, beautiful car. All these car fans walking around and say, oh, is that for my car? You put it in your gas tank? I said, you put it in your gas tank, fella. This is the STP for your gas tank, not the car. You want to feel good? Take it. See, that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with energy. And boy, I'll tell you what, there's an energy shortage out here. If you don't believe me, look at the way people walk around. Hey, when we do shows, it's fun to watch. We do shows, and I make them take the path that's right then. If I can, I'll have them take it, and I'll watch those people, especially in some of the shows where you see them coming back over and over during the whole day. And they'll come up to the booth, and they're kind of like a little bit not like they're there. You see, like they're walking in there, and there's nobody home. You ever see somebody look at them, and you wonder if they're really in there? Well, and you give them up time. The next time you see them, they're walking up, they feel good, they're walking erect, they've got a bounce in their step, their eyes are shining. They're alive, they're alight. Their faces look radiant, there's a little more light in there. That's marvelous. You can get that from some tablets, isn't it? But what are you getting it from? You're getting it from two of the most potent forms of food on earth. Think about that. Two of the most potent forms of food on earth. One from the sea, one from the earth. You're dealing with wheatgrass, which is nothing more than one of the most vital foods ever found on earth. Very high in B vitamins and chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a blood cleanser. It's an oxygenator to the blood, they claim. Well, I'll tell you. You're dealing with spirulina, which is a microalgae that has some of the most potent, amino acid contents and protein available on the earth, and most easily assimilated, quickly ingested into the system. Combine that with the genius that Michael Sigliano formed this with the combination of two of these potent forms, then you take and put an enzyme in it, a little bit of papaya powder. What's the papaya do? It's an enzyme. It breaks those down very rapidly so they get into your system. So if you don't have the right kind of digestive enzymes, the papaya will help promote the breaking down of that tablet. Some people take tablets, they go right through them. Add to that a little bit of fructose, a form of sugar that is very slow to be taken into the system. It's from fruit. It's not like your regular sugars. It doesn't produce that hypoglycemic up and down type of blood sugar situation. So you get a sustained release of sugar into the system that is taken in at a level that you can absorb it, utilize it for energy. Add to that a little bit of cayenne pepper. Well, I'll tell you, the magician was putting it together, wasn't he? Huh? It's like a little witch's brew here, right? Let's get a little of this, a little of that, huh? But let me tell you what he added, a little cayenne pepper. Well, you know, the old herbalists knew about cayenne pepper. The doctors are still discovering about some of these herbs. Did you know that 100% of the drugs you take, 50% come from plants? Did you know that? Our doctors are herbalists. They wouldn't want the name, but they're herbalists. But so we take some cayenne pepper. We throw a little sprinkle of cayenne pepper, and what happens now? Now you got a catalyzer. Huh? A catalyst. A potentiator of all these nutrients. Potentiator gives it power. Read any herb book. Read any book on cayenne pepper. A potentiator of other herbs. And more important, it's an endocrine stimulant. It activates the digestive tract. It gets the digestive tract going. But it's an endocrine stimulant. Promotes an accelerated activity of endocrine glands. Now add to that a central nervous system stimulant, caffeine. Not from coffee, but a pure form of caffeine that comes from a plant called Camellia sinensis. That hasn't got the associated oils and tars, pesticides and tannic acid and other things that you have in coffee that a lot of people have problems with. So now you've got the central nervous system activated a little bit more. And then you accelerate the whole Krebs cycle of the body so that the ingestion of those B vitamins can be assimilated and taken in the blood and the brain and the body more efficiently and then converted into the energy you need. It takes you through a 6 to 8 hour period of feeling great. Not like a cup of coffee. It takes you up with the central nervous system stimulation. It has nothing to go with it. So it takes you up, pulls all those B vitamins, C's, other nutrients out of your body and leaves you feeling worse a half an hour later than when you started. Or with uptime, all the things that caffeine is known to cause a deficiency of, they are bountifully pumped into your system to support that extra activity, not to rob you and deplete you of those vital nutrients. Caffeine is also said to be a vasoconstrictor. Cuts down all the vessels, constricts them. If you're a high blood pressure patient, that's not too good, is it? So they say don't drink coffee. But Michael had the genius to add to that cayenne pepper, which is a vasodilator, opens up those vessels, counteracts the effects of that caffeine. Helps supercharge it into those muscles and brain tissues, those nutrients, because those veins remain open to supercharge those nutrients into you. I tell you folks, you're dealing with something that's near miraculous. I believe. I get excited about it, if you can't tell. I get excited about uptime. You know? I get excited for what it does for me, for what it makes me, for the energy it gives me, for the life energy that it enhances. I get evangelical about it because it's exciting. It can change people's lives, and I'm into that. I think that's what it's about. Living more, not less, is what life's about. Giving more in every way that you can. And if you have more energy, then you're going to have more enthusiasm for living. If you have more energy, you're going to be able to give to more people, whatever your talents might be. You're going to be able to serve better, because it takes energy to give. Just like money is a form of energy, right? And I'll tell you, that's the other reason why this is an exciting product. Because it will make you a lot of money by sharing it with others. It'll make you a lot of money. But see, the money will come as a byproduct of sharing and giving. Instead of, listen, I got a couple bottles here for $28.95. If you give me some money, I'll give them to you. Ever been in that situation before in your life? And if you take it for 2 or 3 months, I think you'll feel better. Hopefully you'll feel better in 2 weeks. Maybe even in a couple days. Now, you take this and a half an hour later come back and see me. That's exciting. It's the dream of every person that's ever marketed a product. I'm not going to spend time on the money portion of the product because I'll tell you why. We have a fantastic program for you tonight. I don't know who's up next. Who is up next? Michael? You have the fortunate opportunity to meet the chairman of the board tonight and to experience some of what he has to share with you. Additionally, tonight you have really some surprises. We have Esther Young, who I want to kind of introduce to you. Raise your hand back there, Esther. Esther is from Milwaukee. I want you to know before she comes up tonight, that lady put together an organization that in the very first month, personally, did $11,500 in volume and broke a master distributor who did $7,000 in volume. In addition, has put over 100 people in the business herself in the last few months. In addition, is one dynamic trainer and motivator. I've watched that lady for the last few years, and I'll tell you something, there's nobody who can stand next to her and outshine her. And I'm going to tell you something. When she gets up here to share with you tonight, listen, because she has some tips that will make your business grow much more quickly, much more successfully. We also have Louis, and I still haven't got his last name. DeBenzio. Fantastic motivator speaker from Phoenix, Arizona tonight. You're really in for a treat. I've watched this gentleman for the last couple of nights just really change people's lives, turn them around, give them some direction. And that's a plus that you couldn't get anywhere. You could go, this man has lectured to thousands of people, probably millions all over the world as a motivator, trainer. For car companies to, hair companies to whatever. And you're really in for a treat. Also, I'm going to let the other introductions stay until later, and I'm going to bring up Michael Signal and give him a great hand, will you? Make him get it all possible.
If you didn't get your ingredient list, here it is for you. We have a certificate to give away tonight. He's not expecting it, and I'd like to have him come up and take it. John Tomlinson justly deserves it. I'd like John to come up and pick up your certificate for unit director. Since I got you up here. That was a trick. I really want to thank you for everything you've done. John's been a big supporter of Uptime. He's been a real supporter. He's really enthused about the product, and he's turned a lot of people onto it. And since you're up here, and it's your meeting, I'll say a few words, and I'll sit down. I'll come back up when you're done with that.
Okay. Well, this is all right. I've told this story before, so I'll tell it again. When I got involved in Uptime, the gentleman who actually owns this space next door brought it down and gave it to my partner and I, who were downstairs. My partner had them and gave a package to me, and I took one. Nothing. I said, well, this is nothing but taste. I came back to him, I said, Herman, what'd you give me this stuff for? Nothing happened. He says, well, the guy gave it to me. He says, take it. So I came upstairs, and while he told me, he says, how many did you take? I said, one. He said, take all three. That was a day to remember. My partner and I had 3 meetings. We ran around all day. About 5, 6 o'clock, we stopped. We went to a bar, and I had another appointment, and I was leaving, and I ran out the door, and I came back, and I said, Herman, something happened to me. Have you taken those pills? He said, no. I said, take them. And when I came back, it was really something. So I went to the meeting, and here I am. I'm very happy to be a part of Uptime. I expect this to, are there any more certificates I can get? Because I want them all. The gold ones. I've got to get the gold ones. One thing I've found with Uptime, and I'm going to follow Ron's lead, you got to give the product away. You got to give it to as many people as you see, and give it to them. My lady friend and I went up to Reno last weekend to a convention, and we were at the MGM Grand, and I went up to play Keno, and this lady behind the Keno counter was looking real drab, so I said, hey, try one of these. And I forgot about it, dummy. The next night, we went back to the same place to make Keno, and she had her button on, and the lady actually almost reached through the counter to grab her. She said, "Where's that stuff at?" She said, "I want that stuff." So, I mean, the product is fantastic. It'll make you a lot of money. But more than that, I think, too, it's the sharing. It's the giving to people. It's the actual giving to make them see that there's something better. There's got to be something out here better, because believe me, there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of ugliness out here. And if people can get hold of a product that will make them feel better, their attitudes will automatically change. And when you've got a changed attitude, instead of a drab, humdrum person, you're going to see a person that's bright and wanting to do things. I've got some sons that just arrived here today. I could have tried to get them out here, maybe at the next meeting, but I'm going to get them involved in Uptime. I'm getting everybody that I see involved in Uptime, because I know it is my financial future and my personal motivation that will help me to move the product and move into better things. So I'm happy to see all of you here. We're going to have a once-a-month meeting here. It will be posted. If this gets too small, I'll get a bigger place, because we want to see everybody that comes next month to bring somebody with them. Make it a point that every time you come to a meeting, bring somebody, so we can fill this place. Let's be outside. Next time we'll get a bigger place. But bring somebody with you. Don't come alone anymore. I'm going to stop people that come alone from coming. Bring somebody with you. And that way we're going to get this thing growing and moving, and instead of thousands, we'll have millions using Uptime. And Mike, you will be so rich. Thank you so much.
The only point about me getting rich, you all get rich with me. That's what it's really all about. That's what Uptime is really all about. The reason this company was formed in the first place, go back to the beginning. By ourselves, we're not a movable force. We're not recognized out there. But if we get a bunch of little people who are business-oriented entrepreneurs, and for a very little amount of money, $5, the potential that you can bring back for a $5 bill can enhance your life forever. I mean, $5 is, in today's system, 1776, when the American flag began, it cost her, what, a few cents to do a little flag. That was the American system in its beginning. Today it costs $30, $50, $100, $200,000 to go into a business. You can't do it by yourself anymore. The big corporations have got us like this because they've duplicated themselves all the way across the country, and they've taken everything and put it on a shelf, and they make it in quantities, and you buy it. It's the same thing from corner to corner to corner to corner to corner. Anything else you sell out there, take it in 30 days, you got a result. Take this in 30 minutes, you got a result. We're getting it back on a daily basis. I have to meet with, tomorrow I have 2 professional baseball people to meet with. They love the product. I mean, the LA Dodgers love Uptime. The Cleveland Browns are on Uptime. Stevie Nicks is on Uptime. It goes on and on. We have made so many inroads into so many fields, the phones consistently ring. And we got letters today, Australia, London, England. How did the product wind up in Australia, London, England? We're here. We have 2 letters today in one day from London, England, and Australia. They want samples of Uptime. The places this product is reaching to, it's just phenomenal. Who gave it to their brother? Who gave it to their sister? Who gave it to their uncle? Who gave it to the guy around the corner? The guy who had the walker couldn't walk across the floor. Took him 30 minutes to do the walker away. No longer needs it. His wife worried about him. He's now down at the corner bar with his buddies drinking. I mean, it goes on and on and on. You know, here's a man who got so tired. When you sit, your lymph systems start clogging up. And what happens to you, you start to die. If they've increased our life expectancy another 15 years, what are you going to do with it? Watch TV? I mean, you're going to wear yourself out. The object of life is to go out there and enjoy it. The object of life is to get yourself excited, to be able to say to yourself, come on, let's go do something. TV is great. One couple nights a week, let's go bowling, let's go dancing, let's go do some exercise, let's go fool around. Got to be something better, okay? Uptime does it for you. Uptime for vending machines. 60 more days, it'll be on the market. We're doing the vending machines right now. We're getting prices back on the coloring for the machines and what it's going to cost for us to buy them in quantity. We'll make the machines available to you. We'll make the packaging available to you. This will be in our regular colors with the Uptime logos. We wrapped in plastic, 3 tablets in a pack. It comes in machines 2, 4, 6, and 8. They're working us up prices right now. We don't know how we're going to distribute it yet. We're looking for suggestions. If you have any idea that may enhance you and enhance the company, and you can work with us on it, call me. I'd be glad to talk to you about it. It's a brand new idea. I'm the kind of guy, if you tell me something, I do it. So if you tell me, I do it. Lady came to me 2 weeks ago, she said, I want to do a vending machine. I called her back, I said, here it is. She said, what? I said, vending machine, let's do it. She said, what? She told me about a vending machine. Here it is, let's do it. She's all ready? I said, why wait till next week? Let's do it now. Let's get it done. I mean, Rod McEwen sent me a Valentine's Day card, said, I love you. I sent a letter back today, they're going to start talking about us. What are you doing with the product? People are using this product on a daily basis and exciting their friends. And their friends are exciting their friends. The Uptime patches, they'll be available in 2 weeks. They're iron-on or sew-on. Your Uptime business cards are available to you now. All you got to do is call in, fill out the application, and put your name, address, and phone number on it. I'll have it back to you within a week. The Uptime packet for samples. You give a lot of samples away, but you got to give away a lot of literature to go with it. You can turn it around, have a nutritional break. This is a rough. Has a nutritional breakdown in the back with information about the product. You can put your stamp. When you hand it to somebody, not only do they have the packet, they have all the information, your name, everything else to go with, and all the literature. We're also going to do a J-hook for when you want to go into your sporting goods stores or your health spas type of thing. But they can put it on the counter. When you walk in, you'll see the Uptime. We have video film we will have available for you within 7 days at a basic markup of 10%. We're not going to make a lot of money on a lot of the products. We have 2 cassette tapes that are available now for $1. And you know it costs pretty near $1 to make a cassette tape. We're not making any money on the product. The reason we're not making any money on these are your tools. These are your aids to go out there and sell Uptime. If we kill you $2, $3, $4 for a tape so we can make some money on you, it's not going to do you no good. You can't duplicate the tape for that kind of money. So for $1, you got some aids. You have Spanish brochures now. You have Spanish marketing plans now. We have, you know, I see things coming up. Our identification cards came in today. They're plastic. They look like a credit card. They'll be available probably in the next 2 weeks also. We're doing things so quickly at Uptime that even I have a tendency to forget we're working on it. There's so many things happening over there. All I can tell you is that if we all band together, and if we all pay attention, by ourselves you got a problem. Ron Watson is with the company. Dr. Pat Nuzzo, naturopathic doctor, is with the company. Louis Anthony Vivenzio is with the company. Esther Young is helping with the company. If you have a meeting that you want done, call Ron Watson. Call the company. If you want to get a gathering of people together, call us. We will come and do it for you. If you need help, call us. That's what we're there for. We're here to help you. We will come to you. 5, 10 people in your house, 2, 3 people in your house. You want to meet in a coffee shop, call us. We'll come down. We'll be as easy for you as you want us to be. Any kind of support system you want. If you got some kind of giveaway to church, you got a raffle, a drawing, call me. You want some samples, call me. That's what we're here for. We will help you to do anything you want to do. We have got 2,500 distributors.
The t-shirt he had.
That'll resign later.
That t-shirt
What about it?
that he had.
What about it?
I just wanted to show it.
Oh, I gotta show a t-shirt. This is one way one of the distributors did for marketing. He took the poster and put it in front of a t-shirt. We also have a volleyball team called the Uptimers. They're third. They placed for, they came in third they qualified to go into the nationals for the championship of the state of California. I think somebody's made for them too, as a matter of fact. They came to the meeting last night. Too Tall Joe, is that what he said? They got a lot of names. I'm not too familiar with basketball. But the basketball players are drawn to the product. Did Pam come tonight?
No, she won't.
Oh. Pam Dickerson works for the U.S. Olympics. Pam is come on to the Uptime to help us out too. She is turning everybody's Olympic office onto the product. You have world-class runners, and I can't mention his name. I'm so mad I can't mention his name. He said he's improved his time by over 30 seconds per mile. Now this guy wins the Olympics on Uptime. I mean, geez, the support system from that is going to be totally phenomenal. And he doesn't want to say it to anybody right now because he says, if I tell them what I'm doing, they'll start doing it too. And he says, I want the edge. He says, I want that edge when I go out to that track meet. And if I know psychologically I've got that edge, I'm going to perform better. I'll make myself into a winner. He said, if I come in a world-class runner and win it with uptime, I'll tell the whole world about it. I keep waiting. Together we're a force. By ourselves, we're a little weak. We're here to help. Anything you need from this company, whether it be meetings, samples, conversation, a pick-me-up, call us. Call the office, call Ron Watson, call Pat Nuzzo, call Esther Young, call Lewis. We'll have videotapes available in a week on motivation, on the 7 steps to success, on a wide variety of things. You can rent them from us. I think it's probably going to be about $5 for the tape, so you can use it for your own private meetings. They'll be available, I think, somewhere around $20, $25 if you purchase the tape, which is, as you probably realize, is very, very inexpensive. We are not marking it up except for 10% for the handling. Whatever it costs us, 10%, and it belongs to you, and it'll help you go out and do something with the product. We have a lot planned for you tonight. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Esther Young. Esther Young is the... young lady from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, who is now a master distributor. We went to Las Vegas last weekend. She signed up the Hacienda, the Holiday Inn. I took care of the Hilton. Kathy and Suzanne took care of the Golden Nugget. They all went back this weekend because the phones are ringing off the hook. They want the product in Las Vegas. I've been telling all of our distributors for the last 5 months to go to Las Vegas. If any place in the world this product is needed is in Las Vegas. And I'll tell you what, boy. They put your carbon fund instead of handing them a dollar, you hand them a packet of uptime. They oh, thank you. You'd rather have the uptime than a dollar bill. She did a great job.
I handed it out at the front desk, and by the time I got up to my room, my light was flashing.
Yeah.
They wanted it.
There are so many places. Louis Anthony is a pastor also. Louis gives out of his church. His pastor took it, gave the greatest fire and brimstone lecture he gave in years. It's a motivator. Uptime is a motivator. It motivates all of us. It's a thing that gets into your system and it works for you, and it makes you into something we all should be. Sitting down and relaxing is not what the name of the game is all about. You got to pay your rent. It gets bigger every year. You have to pay your taxes. It gets bigger every year. To compete with what's happening out there, you need uptime. And I'll tell you what. 25 years ago, I like to walk into Amway when they told me about Amway. And the people are walking around shaking their head thinking about it. Well, don't think about it no more. This is a reality. It's here, and it works. Esther Young, it's all yours.
Let's hear it for Michael. Do people really realize what you have in your hands, what an opportunity? Do you know? Who here knows? Do you know and understand? I don't think you really do yet. All right? Pat's going to come up in just a little while, and he's going to tell you how you can use this fantastic product and you can turn it into a marketing plan and how you can really build your business. One of the steps, oops, I think Louis is going to do that tonight. It's going to be a rare opportunity to see Louis do that here in California. Alrighty. One of the major keys to building a successful multi-level business is obviously prospecting and sponsoring, building your business, bringing new people into the business. This is just really probably the most important key, and we've found a couple tips that we've just found to be really, really successful, and I just want to share a couple of those tips with you tonight. Okay? What type of people are you looking for? You're looking for the people with a sparkle in the eye, just natural, uptime type of people. All right? How do you find those type of people? How many do you want? How many can you work with? Well, what you really should have is about 5 very, very sharp people. Okay? You're going to find that if you have more than 5 very sharp people, it's great, but you're going to have a real hard time working with them very successfully. So look for 5 on your first generation. It might take you about 20 people to find 5 really good ones. Keep looking, you're going to get them. How do you find them? You're going to exhaust yourself with all your friends, neighbors, relatives, that type of thing in a very short amount of time. The product, this little product, is a perfect way of finding people. It's just amazing. You're going to find that you hand it, and Ron Watson has a 3-foot rule. Anyone who's within 3 feet gets it, just like it happened in the Hacienda. I always say if it moves, hand more to it. If it doesn't move, post a poster up on it. Anyway, just like at the Hacienda. Okay, so the product is just perfect, but the uptime people seem to be missing one important little step. They keep giving it out and giving out their name and number and whatever, and waiting for it all to come back. A lot of it comes back, but you people are just missing one important step. Ask for that person's name and number. When you give it, say, hey, I'm doing a survey. I'd like to know how you feel on this product, how it works for you. You know, what's the number where I might be able to reach you within a couple days? You need an opportunity to call them back, to share the opportunity, the business opportunity. They're going to love the product, but now you need to be able to get back to them. So don't miss this really important step, okay? We've found that one way of just working with people in general life, if you meet people at a party, at a seminar, or whatever, just a real good pattern that we have used for a long time. It was very, very successfully with multi-level marketing. It's called FORM, F-O-R-M, just the word FORM. The F stands for family. Talk to people. If I sit down next to this lady tonight, how can I get to know her? How can I start to offer her my business? Or if I'm standing next to her in the supermarket, how can I interest her in my business? Okay, without seeming like a real flake. Talk to her. Ask her questions about her family. People love to talk about themselves. This is true, all right? Ask her if she has any children, if she lives in the area, you know? To try to get her to open up, to try to give you some type of a little key so that you can, you know, key in on something and offer her either the product to have her as a retail customer or as a business partner, all right? So talk to her about the family. That's the F. The O would stand for occupation. Are you employed? What type of work do you do? Are you working full-time? Are you working part-time? They're going to give you answers back that you can just turn right around into an opportunity to present them with a business opportunity. They're going to say something like, gee, I'm working part-time, but I'm looking for something else. So my husband's laid off. We're really hit with the economical crunch right now. All right? The R would stand for recreation. What type of recreation do you enjoy? Do you enjoy water skiing? You're going to be going on a vacation this year? Can't handle it. Husband's laid off, this type of thing, or he's really sick. He doesn't care to go anywhere. He needs uptime. All right? You're going to find some little place where you can get, you know, what you have to offer through to them. The M would stand for mission. Decide what your mission is with them. Do you want to offer them, you know, the product on a retail type of basis, or do you want to offer them a business opportunity? Okay. What we do within our group, and it's fun, it's fantastic, and we do it a couple times a week, and we go out with like maybe 4 people at a time. Okay, and we break up in twos, and it's great. It's a lot of fun. We go to the shopping mall. And say this lady here and I, we're shopping. Or maybe looking for perfume. I have one friend who's shopping for perfume all the time. She never buys any. She's looking for a certain kind of perfume called Midnight. Well, there's no perfume called Midnight. All right? So she never has to make a purchase. But anyway, you walk up to the clerk and you ask them, and what you're doing is you're developing a rapport with them. You're making them feel very, very comfortable with you. Okay? You're talking to them just a little bit. And what happens is that you say, gee, you're a very talented type of individual. Are you full-time here? You must be the manager, right? You compliment them, highly compliment them, all right? And what happens is that they're going to feed you back information that you can key in on once again. Then, this is very important, listen to this wording. You know, you're a very talented individual, and we're looking for people like you in my business. If something were to come along better than what you're doing right now, more personally enjoyable and financially rewarding, are you the type of person who would take advantage of something like that? Who could say no? Who could say no? All right? They have to say yes. There'd be only one possibility that they would say besides yes. That might be, what is it? Okay? Then what you would obviously want to do is you would want to say, well, you know, now is not really the time or the place. I have an appointment in about 15 minutes. You're working. I really don't want to jeopardize your job. Number 1. Number 2, you would want to say, I don't really want you to base your decision upon a little conversation that you and I could have in 1 or 2 minutes, because that's not fair to you, or it's not fair to me. If this were a picture in a Playboy magazine and I ripped a little corner out, that's not fair, all right? It doesn't give them the whole picture. They can't base their decision upon that. And so what you do then is you instantly go for the closing. Why did you say that? That's not really fair. I wouldn't want you to base your decision upon that. Which would be better for you? Choose your night or Wednesday afternoon. Go for the closing. Okay? If a person is still hesitating and you feel a little bit like they might feel like they're being backed into a corner, you might say something like, you might take it away. this is real important. People always want something that they can't have. So you might say something like, you know, perhaps this really isn't for you. You might not be the person that we're looking for. But you know what? It never really hurts to talk, does it? What might be better, Tuesday night or Wednesday afternoon? Okay? You give them an option. Give them a choice. Don't back them into a corner. Okay? Some of these things are just very, very important. And you pick these up from some of the very top sales type of trainers in the country. You might want to say something like, well, okay, it's only going to be, you know, an hour maybe of your time. Maybe we can meet for coffee, something like that. And you know what? If there were a way where you could pick up an extra $500 to $1,000 a month, that wouldn't make you angry, would it? What would be better, Tuesday night or Wednesday afternoon? And it works. People just do it. Okay? Another tip might be never ask them for their telephone number. Never say, you know, what's your telephone number? Say it in a different type of way, like what might be a number where I could reach you. Some of these terminologies are just so very important. They really are. There's some real tools to sales. Keep the money that you talk about very, very relative. If you're talking to a college student, don't offer them $1,000 or $5,000 a month. It'll blow them away. If you're talking to a professional, a doctor, an attorney, a business person, don't offer them $5,000 or $500 a week. They're not going to have the time or the interest for that. You're going to be real surprised if professionals are interested in this business, right? We have some, you know, medical type people who are leaving their profession, coming to work a couple times on a permanent type of basis. Capitalism being one of them. Okay? Present the opportunity to absolutely everybody. Practice these techniques. Okay? But not only practice them, teach them to your people. Go out and work with them. Take your people out to a shopping center with you and just try it. Try it on, you know, try it on anybody. Practice this a little bit. Be really enthusiastic about what you have to offer. The product, there's no better product that's available. There's no big business opportunity that's available. You just have something so special that you probably really don't realize yet. You have to believe in yourself. You won't be successful if you don't believe you can. What you believe in, you can conceive. It can happen. You're not going to be successful if you don't try to be successful. Use some of the things that I've been able to share with you tonight. How many of you are going to go big time with uptime? Good. All right. Great. It was wonderful being here. I think what I'm going to do now is bring up Louis Levenzio, who is an international motivator. He's spoken to groups of 25,000 at a time. He's just a dynamite individual, and he's going to give you an awful lot more information. So listen to what he has to say.
Listen, can we see if we can get this light on here, because we're having a problem with the lighting on the video camera. If I could maybe get this back light on right here. And you want that behind this, Fonz? Is that what you want me to do? Let's see if we can arrange that. Is that better? Well, no. Is that better? No. How about this one? This one right here. The furthest one back. None of those. How about those top ones up there? Did you try those top ones in the fuse box?
Just wait a second.
Okay. Well, while he's doing that, I'd like to first of all welcome you all to our time seminar this evening. It's always exciting to be with a group of people who are looking to. No, I guess that's not it. But who are looking to do something with themselves, do something with their lives, because you know we have 25, I don't know how many millions or thousands at least of people in probably a couple of mile radius here in this area, and I look into a room of 25 or 30 people. So it shows you from all the statistics that we have done in our research, because we have a I say we as a company that we have that does a lot of research on what is the percentage of people who are making money. What's the percent of people who are even trying or even looking? And you'll be very surprised that you're looking at a room full of about 10% of the population are out there looking to do something, looking to make more money, looking for an opportunity. People just have 9-to-5 jobs and they're waiting for that gold watch at age 65. And that's just the way this society runs here in America.
And it's kind of unfortunate in one sense. In the other sense, we're very fortunate because we're the 10%. So that leaves the other 90% to go out there and spread the word about Uptime to. Okay? But my background is, again, a lot of motivation. I've always believed in it since I began in business when I was 12 years old with a paper route. And I've been to many seminars, obviously, like many of you have, and read lots of books, and I've sat in many classrooms with my notebook and my tapes and listened, and that's what it's all about. It's a matter of learning and sharing and absorbing knowledge and taking it and using it. Because you can get a lot of knowledge, but if you're not going to use it, then it's not going to do any good. So you have to put what you get to work. And over that period of time, speaking to so many people, I had the same question asked to me so many times, is, well, great, that was a great lecture you gave, and I'm excited, but, what do I do? Are there any steps that I follow? And it started to make me think, here I am teaching, and yet I really didn't have a steps, because to me, I just kind of learned this, and I would add that to my collection. I would learn that and add that to my collection. Learn this and add it to my collection. I just kept learning. I mean, I've been to so many seminars and read so many books and listened to so many tapes, and I have a library full of all that. See, because knowledge is a very, very exciting tool. Think about that. That's why we go to high school and college. That's why we read things, because that's how we learn. You read manufacturer's instructions, so you learn how to do it. So I decided it was time to put something together, and I went through all of the things that I had learned, and I thought, it only breaks down to 7 ingredients for success. We must keep it simple. You've all heard it, keep it simple, silly. I don't like the word stupid. I don't like any word that's negative. You see, I don't know what negative is. I don't know how to spell it. I don't accept it. I don't recognize that. You understand? That's one thing you have to understand. So the KISS system I talked about is just keep it silly. Keep it simple, silly. And it is that simple. And I came up with 7 steps, because that's all it takes to make it happen. And I did it with myself and found that it worked, and I passed it on to friends, my 7 steps, the big 7 that I call it now. And we've been using it for about 10 years. We've been using this system and training other people, training other salespeople, in all different types of businesses. And we taught them the 7 steps, and we found by using the big 7 that the majority, and I'm talking about the majority now, ended up doing things and accomplishing things they would never be able to do before. So we knew that the system worked. And so we brought it to many large corporations around the world. And it's exciting to be now bringing it to the Uptime Corporation, which I am now full-time motivational speaker with, and I don't do any for any others right at this point, don't intend to. We have a lot of work to do. So I would recommend that you either write these down, or we will have tapes available. We'll have cassette tapes and video available on all these things. Esther, myself, Ron, and lots of things coming up. I could stay here for the next 2 hours and tell you what's ahead, but that's not important. What's important is right now. You see, many people look to the past and many people look to the future. All that's important is right now. Let's get the most that we can out of this classroom right now. It's one of the things, another thing that we found. So many people sitting in the classroom and they're thinking about what they should have did yesterday and what they're going to do tomorrow and how much money they're going to have tomorrow and all this. And what happens is they forget about what's really going on right here and miss it all and walk out of the classroom. And I've had this happen so many times. I walk, the class is over and I'll go out and say, well, what was the 7th step? Do you remember? 7th step. No, gee, I don't remember. Well, do you remember what the 7th step? Nobody ever remembers because they were somewhere else. So when we do all-day seminars, the first thing we do is we get people to recognize that be right here, right now, because that is where you are. You're nowhere else. So in order to get what you want to get out of here, and remember what I just said, what you want to get out of this class tonight or this seminar, okay, is that you must be here 100%. Because what we also found out through all of our studies is that you only can have one thought at a time. So if you're thinking about what you're going to have for dinner after this class is over, you will not absorb what I'm trying to get through to your head or what I am getting through to you. You see, only one thought at a time. So clear your thoughts, totally clear your thoughts, and experience the next 15 minutes. And what you find from that experience is that you will learn, and you will grow, and you will absorb, and you will remember. Okay? And I won't go into all, we'll do an all-day seminar in this area before long. It's exciting. It's exciting. But what we found with this program is that there are 7 steps that make it all happen. And if you follow this, and I don't care what it is you want to do, you will. accomplish it. You will accomplish it. You will accomplish it. I notice I said that 3 times. In order for you to change your thoughts, to change your behavior, to change your beliefs, we know one thing. It takes 7 days, minimum, to get rid of a negative thought. It takes 10 positives to get rid of 1 negative thought. Talk about some power. So we don't recognize, we teach you not to recognize negative thoughts. Like try, like maybe, like oh I could never do that. You see, we change all that. You can, you will. There are 3 words they do not exist. And this is not part of the big stuff. I'm going to throw it in, but because I want you to see something. Okay? Can't, impossible, okay, and if. We bury these. I have a book out that I wrote, and I have little tombstones like this. Okay? And we have, this is what we do in our all-day seminar. And it says the date. Okay? Whatever date it is. Today is 2/16/84. Okay? And we bury these words. Can't. And we put 3 of these here like this. Alright? And we bury those words, and they are dead, and they never exist, and you never use them again. This becomes a can, this becomes a can, this becomes possible, and it becomes will. That's simple. Now, if you learn nothing else this evening, you learn that, and you will change the course of your life to where it is you really want to be, and the course that you do want to be on. Words. It is so important. I listen to many people speak. And I pick up so many things that they don't even recognize that they are saying that are negative. It's amazing. It's amazing. Okay, that was way off track, but that's great. I love it. I love it. You like that one? You like that one?
Great.
Isn't that a good one? That's right. So we all what? We all can. All things are possible. And we will. Let's get to the big 7. Step number 1. Everybody has them. Everybody loves them. Everybody does it all the time. And we all have dreams. Don't we all love Excuse me. Sorry about that. Even this is getting here. Tighten this up. Sorry. That's
Last time was the one that twisted.
Oh, that's all right. Okay. No problem. There's no problem. Is everything totally under control? That's it. We'll go right on. Everybody has dreams. You see, like it never happened. Everybody has dreams. We love to dream. You can call me a dreamer. You know what I say? Thank you. Thank you so much. Because I am. And I always will be. And here's step 2. The problem is people go on dreaming all their lives. And that's all they do. Okay? So what do, Louis? Very simple. You take your dreams and you turn them into goals. Oh, what's the difference, Louis? The difference is very simple. This you do forever. This you put a little pressure on yourself and you set a date. By this time next year, February 16th, 1985, I personally will have over 1,000 distributors. That simple. I could dream about this all my life. It's no longer a dream now. You see, it's going to be a reality because I set a date. So now when I wake up in the morning every day, I'm getting closer to that goal, closer to that goal, closer to that goal, closer to that goal, and I keep track. Listen, it's already September. I only have 700. I better get going. Closer to that goal, closer to that goal. You see, you have something to work for. Otherwise, you have nothing to work for up here. Okay? Now, number 3. Oh, I feel good tonight. Number 3 is that if this date comes and there are people who don't have their goal. How come? What happened? Check this one. Oh, I love it. We have to have reasons to accomplish our goals. Otherwise, why are you going to accomplish it? Why do you want over 1,000 distributors by 1985? Well, I don't know. If you don't know, what do you think is going to happen? Quickly, a few reasons. I'd like to send my parents on a trip around the world. I'd like to buy Mr. Sigliano a nice, let's see, what is that? Oh, I don't know, something real nice for the opportunity he's given me. Maybe that's so I can help my pastor at our church to grow bigger. Maybe so I can feed some hungry children. Whatever it might be. Maybe so I can put better food on my table for my family. See, I don't know what the reasons are for you. I only know mine. But I have to have them in order to be sure that I accomplish this. Because without these, this has no meaning. No reality. Thank you. Number 4. Ooh, this one here. Oh, I love this one. How about if you just do it for you? How about if you just do it for you? You ever do anything for yourself? Or do you do everything for everybody else and complain about it? And so that puts a negative to the whole thing. You see, because when you do things for yourself, what happens is you feel good about yourself. And when you feel good about you, do you know what? You're going to feel good about me. Isn't that true? That's right. And when I feel good about me, I'm going to feel good about you. And it just keeps going back and forth, back and forth. So I do it just for me. And that's okay, and you must make that okay. No matter what anyone says. My dreams are to have this ranch. And everybody's, what do you want a ranch for? Because I want a ranch. That's all. I want a ranch. Simple as that. And I'm going to have my ranch for me. And you want to come and enjoy it with me? Great, come on. We're going to have some uptime parties there. Okay, number 5. You must have, I love this one, check it. Anybody hear about this one? Enthusiasm? Oh, that's a good one, isn't it? You know what enthusiasm means? It means God within. Enthusiasm. Nothing. Mr. William Wrigley Sr. Wrigley Spearmint Gum, used to sell soap. Great book if you've never read it. The man told his whole staff and his whole family. I spent many days and weeks and months with those people. They're just beautiful family. And he always used to say that nothing great has ever been accomplished without enthusiasm. You see. If you're enthusiastic about this, it'll work. And if you're not enthusiastic about it, it will not work. And it's that simple. It's that simple. Well, gee, Louis, I don't know how to be enthusiastic. Well, then learn. And I'm telling you how to become enthusiastic. By putting this together. Because it's part of all of it. Use the product. You get excited. You get enthusiastic. Oh, yes. Enthusiasm, a must. People love to be around enthusiastic people. Excited people. Why are we all here tonight? Because we're all enthusiastic people who are going somewhere. Together. Who would want to go on a cruise by themselves? Okay. Number 6. You ready? Ooh, here we go. Believe. I love this. I love them all. Do you ever notice? I just love them all. They all just yell, you know? Believe. Oh, look how simple this is. You must believe in your dreams. You must believe in your goals. You must believe in your reasons. You must believe in you. You must believe